Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name's Chris, in case you didn't already know. And today we are going to be talking about the Arturia Effects Collection 5. So this is a plugin collection that has been on the go for a while now from Arturia, and they've been slowly adding to it and developing it, and they recently added a bunch of new effects to it. Specifically today, 4 new effects that we're going to talk about. So I'm just going to pull up the little bit of blurb about them just quickly. So let's talk about it. We've got Bus Peak, we've got Bus Exciter 104, we've got EFX Motions, and we've got EFX Refract. So they're the 4 new plugins as part of the Effects Collection 5. And we're going to have a little demo of them today, showing you what they can do and where they are. So I've pulled up Logic Pro, and I've isolated some stems from a session I was on tour with earlier in the year. For legal reasons, obviously I can't play the whole session for you because it's cover material, so I'd have to pay for license and I get demonetized and everything. But I can give you a little small snippet without any vocals and things like that. So let's throw our cans on and let me show you what we're working with here. So firstly, we've got drums, and what I've done here, so on this project, part of this tour, we're using an electronic drum kit. It's actually the Geva G5 Pro drum kit. It's a really good drum kit, works really well in this context because it means that we can have consistent drum sound from venue to venue, and it means we can load in really easily and get out really quickly as well. So what we've got access to is we've got individual kick, snare, hi-hat, toms are grouped, and we've got overhead left and overhead right. And all I've done is I've just made sure the gains are nice and even, and I've panned the overhead left and right to their stereo counterparts. We've got a bass, which on this tour is DI'd, and we've got guitar, which is DI'd in mono. And then in the keys folder, we've got keys left right, which is played by myself, and we've got track left right. So the track left right is just some extra percussion bits and strings, kind of anything that we can't play live in the room. So that's what we're looking at today. I've taken out all the vocals because, yeah, like I say, I don't want to get demonetized for doing this, but I want to use a good example. So firstly, like I say, I've turned the drums into a track stack so that I can put what the bus exciter is on this one track stack. And here is a bus exciter. Let's just remind you what the bus exciter is and what it does. So bus exciter 104 recreates the classic audio signal enhancer with a dual module architecture, simple to use workflow and faithful design. Bring your mix to life or add that pro edge to instrument and vocal tracks. All right, sounds cool. So let's just have a listen of the drums soloed out without the drum exciter on there. So here are the drums. Okay, so there we go. It's quite good, actually. It's quite a nice drum sound on its own. There's not much to do to that because we're listening to actual samples, not microphone recordings of samples. There's been a lot of work done to the samples already. So I'm just going to literally chuck on this drum exciter, and I'm using the full drum exciter preset on the plugin here. I haven't really made any changes to it at all. I just want to see how it sounds. So here we go. I mean, I don't know about you, but I quite like that. It sounds really tasty. We're just going to A-B on and off so you can hear how it sounds. So this is it on. And off. And on. Off. So lovely. Yeah, so basically just adding a little bit more excitement, or what I like to think of it is top end clarity in the mix. And it's also given the low end a little bit of more warmth, and it's just kind of helping it punch through a little bit more there. So it's quite good if you've got, like you say, if you want to chuck that on a bus and be able to send to your drum track so that you can kind of just make that overall drum mix feel really present with the rest of your track. So that's that. Let's close up that drum stack there, and we're going to unsolo that. Next, we're going to move over to the bass. So for the bass, I thought it'd be fun to add the EFX Motions plugin to this. So let's have a little read about what EFX Motions does. EFX Motions is a software effect that combines musical movement, mix dynamics, and creative audio tools into a powerful effect plugin to give your music the momentum, variety, and pure sonic excitement it deserves. Wow, that is very well crafted PR speak there. But essentially what it does is it takes an incoming signal and morphs it and mucks about with it and plays with it, and you can do a lot with it. And like I say, honestly, presets really are a great place to start. Like, there's a reason that presets get made, because it helps you get to 80 to 90% of the sound that you're envisaging being able to get in the first place. And then from there, you do fine tweaks and things like that. It just helps you speed the whole process up. So here's bass soloed out without EFX Motions. Excellent. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell what the song is by now. I'm not going to mention it so that hopefully I don't get demonetized. So we're just going to add on EFX Motions, and I've got the Hot Bass Resonator preset here. So essentially what we're doing is just kind of adding a little bit more boost to the low end frequency, giving it a bit more whack. So let's have a listen. And here it is without it. With it. Excellent. And what's really nice about this is that you can play with the dry-wet ratio of it, so you can kind of blend in the original sound, or you can have it full wet and have the full kind of preset sound that you're going for here. So that's nice. I don't know if you can hear all the background noise in the outside my house. I've got Ben and Laurie's coming out this morning doing all their work, so there we go. All right, let's keep this train rolling. So let's move over to the guitar. As I said, this guitar was recorded mono source DI input, and what we've done is we've added the EFX Refract plugin to this. Okay, so let's have a little read about what EFX Refract is doing. So EFX Refract is a stereo multi-effect with versatility at its core, combining unison-based processing with a variety of secondary effects and modulation options. Enrich, texturize, and transform any sound from experimental distortions to detuned harmonics. So that's quite cool. And I think this plugin works really well on a mono source like this, because it can take that mono source and obviously turn it into a really nice, rich stereo surround sound scape. So what I've done is I've grabbed the lo-fi tape spread preset here, and I have had a play with some of the little knobs and twiddles here. So let's just listen to it once again, soloed guitar without the plugin on its own. This has got the biggest impact here, this one. Oh man, that guitar is cooking. It's really tasty. Oh, you know what? This is a moment that I'm just going to take to highlight the actual instrumentalists who played on this tour, because they're absolutely fab musicians. So on drums, we've got Andy Hollick, amazing musician, incredible. And on bass, we've got Rory Harvey. And on the guitar, we've got Rob Lamont. And Lamont, I love that name. Anyway, yeah, I just want to take a second to say those guys are incredible musicians, and it's a proper privilege to play on this tour with them. I'm definitely the worst musician in the room, but it's nice to be trying to reach that level of professionalism all the time. And you can tell it in these tracks that have recorded through. They're just so good, so incredible. So let's have a listen to VFX Refract with that guitar now. Plug it on, here we go. Right, that's such a cool sound. And you can play it. What I've done is I've had the mix in favor of the dry signal so that we get the cut of the clean guitar sound coming through, because also he's got some beautiful delay effects going on there already in his tone, and I didn't want to mess with it too much, but I just thought this was a really cool preset. So that's really nice. And then, yeah, if you add in the effects refract, no plugin, plugin. So really cool stuff going on there. So there we go, that's the guitar. And before we add in keys and everything else, let's just solo out the drums and the bass so you can hear those two in tandem together, because they sound really nice. Pretty cool, right? Then let's just add in guitar so you can hear all three instruments. Sounding nice so far. So let's add in the keys. And what I've done here is I put keys and the track components together in a track stack. It's just a summon stack, it's not a folder stack, if you care. But here we are. So on the keys, on that track stack, like I say, we've got the bus peak. So let's have a look at bus peak. Bus peak, an intuitive audio effect that combines tone control, clipper, and limiter features alongside comprehensive metering to ensure optimal loudness in your mix while preserving detail and clarity. So to my ears, what that's saying is this plugin is specifically, it's kind of a glorified compressor, really, but it's obviously giving you a little bit more control over the clipper and limiter elements of it. So you want to make sure that your signal is never clipping. It's keeping it within a nice safe parameter all the time. And equally, it's not losing any clarity by getting rid of certain frequencies or things like that. So let's have a listen without, solo out the keys. Here are the keys on its own. So you can see there's quite a few elements going on in that track channel there. If I was being really picky, I might actually turn down the track in the mix there. Let's just pull the gain down a little bit so that it's not too intense. Let's try it once again. Let's have a listen to that. Yeah, cool. It's never supposed to get in the way, it's just supposed to be supplementary. So let's add our bus peak C limiter smooth preset. Cool, so you can see there that it's just keeping everything within a nice parameter there, 6 dB to minus 0.2 dB range there in terms of what's going on. And you can obviously play with all these effects and things, these tone control knobs and stuff like that. There's a lot you can do. So let's just now have a quick listen of everything as is. So we've got our 4 kind of main instrument groups, and I'm going to bring up the mixer plugin, and we're just going to be ready to, let's kind of deactivate the plugins now, have a listen through, and then activate the plugins, and you can see what they're all doing in conjunction in the whole mix. So here we go. And now with the plugins. Okay, cool. So there we go. That's the new Effects Collection 5 with the new. We've got Bus Exciter, EFX Motions, EFX Refract, and Bus Peak. They are really great plugins, and I'm sure you can see by now, Arturia have got a great reputation for creating really good sounding plugins in tools that are properly useful in a mix environment and also in a mastering environment as well, if you remember that, okay? So that's just a really quick video today just to showcase what those plugins do and how they sound. Let me know in the comments below which one you think was most effective. Which tool do you think is most useful in the Effects Collection 5? Because there's more than just those 4 things in the Effects Collection. So it's really worth picking up this package. It's a properly good thing. I do have to say, obviously, Arturia gave me a license for the Collection 5, so I haven't had to pay for it to be able to make this review. But, you know, the quality speaks for itself, guys. Honestly, it's really good stuff. So anyway, I'm going to close it out there, and I hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.